Hey everyone, thank you for coming back to watch another book review. This week I will be reviewing the book called The Days of Afrekete by Asali Solomon. This is the cover of the book. The cover is what caught my eye. I thought that was like a beautiful picture, and so I was like, what is this book about? Let me pick it up. So, let's go ahead and get into this. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, this review will be short because there isn't much to tell. This is a short story, and it's basically about a woman named Lizelle mentally reliving her college days and her relationship experience, mainly with a woman named Selena. Leslie and Selena had a relationship that pretty much left a deep impression in both of their psyches. Neither of them has forgotten the other. Leslie starts reminiscing during the period when her husband, Wynn, is running for a governmental office. Selena seems to have not stopped thinking about Lizelle, and in fact, those thoughts got her through a stint at a mental facility. This story jumps between present and past, but the focus to me was primarily on the past. There was a component in the story that was not elaborated on, which I felt could have added great depth and level of entertainment factor. There was mention that Wynn was under FBI investigation. However, this part of the story fell by the wayside. Like, the author didn't cultivate this part of the story. It was just there, but not there. I kept waiting for this part of the story to come into play, but, well, it really didn't. Not to the level that would be, like, entertaining or bring another aspect to the book. I mean, it was just mentioned, and that was it. Pretty much, if you want to read about the past relationship between Lizelle and Selena, this is the book for you. The sexual orientation of the characters didn't bother me in the least, but I will put it on as a warning for others. I did wonder why Lizelle married Wynn, though. I mean, having a child shouldn't have caused her to go against what seemed to be her nature and preference. It didn't seem that her sexual preference was a college phase. It didn't seem like Lizelle and Wynn had much of an intimate relationship. It came across as like a pact to give their son a two-parent home and financial stability, which, I mean, marriages have been built on much less, so kudos, I guess. I guess there is a level of selflessness that could be commendable for these parents marrying, even though Lizelle seemed to not really prefer an intimate relationship with a man. I mean, often parents and individuals give up lots of things for the greater good of their children's lives and futures. So, I mean, to each their own. But as far as this book, it just seemed like there was a deficit in their marriage in the intimacy department. How the book left off could very well be a segue into another book. However, I don't intend to read it. This book wasn't poorly written. I just expected more. I would categorize this book as a literary palate cleanser. The author didn't give us any discussion questions, so I wasn't able to grasp what she wanted us to get out of this reading. Some of the things I came up with as possible topics of conversation from the reading of this book were exploring one's sexuality, how toxic relationships can have lasting effects on all persons involved, how relationship connections often don't dissipate once the relationship is over, and is marriage pretty much a contract between two people, and what does that look like for an individual or a family? Like I said, there's not really much else to tell about this book because it was pretty much a reminisce book. And if that's what you're looking for, then this is the book for you. I wanted to like this book. I really did. And it's not that I don't like it. I just expected more from it and felt that the author could have really tapped into the FBI investigation piece of it to give it a little bit more meat and a little bit more entertainment. But we will see, because like I said, it does kind of have a cliffhanger ending that is hopefully a segue for another book, and hopefully that next book will have a little bit more meat to it. It took me a long time to read this book. This book is 190 pages, and normally I can pretty much read that in 2 days. I mean, if it's a good book, I can read that in 2 days. So it took me a long time to read this book, which meant it really didn't grab hold of my attention. It really isn't what I would consider a page turner. So I gave it a 5 out of 10. So if you want to pick it up and read it, go for it. Tell me what you think. Maybe you got something out of this book that I didn't, and I would like to know what that might be. So subscribe, click like, share, tell a friend. If you haven't watched the What's New for 2022 video, you have the ability to provide me a book selection that will go pretty much in a drawing, and if your book is selected for reading and book review, you'll get a shout out in that book review. So if you didn't know that, go check out that video so you can know a little bit about what's going on this year, and hopefully you'll participate in giving your own book suggestion. So until next time, keep turning the pages, my book lovers.